next I want to go to what should I be aware of what's happening in my industry, right? With M&A and whatnot. What's going on? Well, I want to give a case study to quickly prove this point. So we were working with a company that makes pallets. Okay, they manufacture wooden pallets, that are used in shipping and whatnot. The company had been around for 50 years. The company was owned by the time we started working with them with the second generation for about 15 years. And like clockwork, this company would do between 1 and 1.5 million of earnings. 1 million, 1.5. 1.2, 1.3, right? Every year for a number of years. All right. And then in 2019, the owner noticed that private equity had started rolling up different companies in the pallet industry and that investors had come into this space and some of his friends were getting bought out and that there were some changes coming in that industry. He really didn't think a lot about it because he was a fairly young guy. And so it was like, yeah, I'm going to hang out over here. I've got 15 years of runway, no intention of doing anything. All right. But he was paying attention to what was going on. And so then the supply chain crisis happened in the wake of the pandemic, and the price of pallets skyrocketed as high as 6x what the prices normally were. And the good news for him was that he was able to take advantage of that. And, in his business, right, this sort of blip, if you will, and prices went way up and his earnings went way up. And it was like, wow, this is amazing. And he said, maybe I got to check and figure out, if I need to do something given all the consolidation that's going on. And so even though he wasn't planning on selling, he knew that it might present a once in a lifetime opportunity. So he contacted us and he's like, look, my earnings are going through the roof. And in fact, at first we were very skeptical that what appeared to us to be sort of a temporary uplift in value in EBITDA, in earnings, is something that the buyers would actually pay for. They would actually pay for that surge. But we decided to reach out to the buyers and say, hey, what's going on? This is what's going on with this company. Would you pay a full multiple on these, the earnings growth in this business? And somewhat surprisingly to us, at least, they said yes. The buyers would pay multiples on those higher earnings. So long story short, we engaged with the company and sold it in a few months for a price that was exponentially beyond what this owner could have ever dreamed. And it really was kind of a one-time opportunity because after that deal, we said, hey, the pallet industry is great. Let's work with another seller in the pallet industry. But he was dragging his feet a little bit and it was hard to get information. And, we did get offers on the business that were really, really strong. But then in third quarter of that year, the bottom dropped out of the market. The price of pallets abated and the buyers walked away. Right. And so because the first guy was prepared, he was able to take advantage of that. Whereas that second founder unfortunately missed out on that opportunity.